Beach in Sydney. Can Rebecca Creedy do it again? Will one of the other girls jump up and try and pick her off? A lot of familiar names here in a very high-quality field, Jack.
Josh, it's one of the better fields that we've seen in recent times, and some of the young guns, we talk about them all the time, are back out here for the first race of their summer. They didn't show up at Alex, but they're here at Newport, ready to put their foot on the line and show what they're ready to do.
Two girls at the end there, Lizzie Wellborn, Gemma Smith, two of the young guns. New South Wales girls, they're on the start line. A difficult start ramp for them here. A little downhill run. They don't want to go over. And then the notorious Newport shore break. Not doing much at the moment, but off and away. Round two, Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman final into the swim, ski, and we'll finish on the board. The girls are across that inside ditch and onto the bank. And we see a little bit of duck diving there and then a few straight into their stroke. And already getting washed from right to left on your screen, Jack. Conditions are tough out here, aren't they?
Well, Josh, the great camera work shows exactly what conditions are like. If you have a look at the darker water as the girls entered, they were straight into their swimming, and then as it starts to get a little bit lighter, that's the sandbank. We saw them able to get up, dolphin dive across that, which is quicker than swimming, and the girls that did it best are now up the front and set their race up very well.
Unlike we saw at Alex, they're a little bit spread out very early on in this opening swim leg here. The V hasn't really formed, but the girls are starting to come together now at that sky blue cap of the Manly Club just down the road. You've got to think that's Naomi Scott. I think it is. And then the cap of Northcliffe there, white cap, maroon star. Looks like maybe Courtney Hancock fresh off winning the Coolangatta Gold. And Emma Dick there, the cap of Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park, black with a green stripe with two yellow stripes outside it as well. So Emma Dick had a little bit of time off in recent years, had to get herself right with chronic fatigue, and she's back bigger than ever, and she's really had a good opening round, did enough to get through there, and I think this is the round where she stands up and tries to re-establish herself as one of the stars of the sport.
Well, she is a phenomenal athlete, Josh, and a great swimmer, and she's setting this one up early, but it's young gun Naomi Scott. She's out in front, and she's leading these open girls into that can.
Naomi Scott is the best swimmer in the sport at this point, bar none, but she's just been pipped on the inside. A little bit of experience there maybe from Courtney Hancock, a multiple Australian champion, multiple professional series winner, and multiple Coolangatta Gold winner. She's done it all, but she wants a Summer of Surf title. A lot of these guys, they've won a lot of the major events in surf lifesaving, but the Summer of Surf is something that eludes them, and I know she's here for this one.
Well, Josh, it's a fresh new series, it's a fresh new outlook, and it's a fresh new birth for the sport. Jordan Mercer took the series title last year, Josh, and she's not here today.
No, she's not here. A leg injury. It's probably taken her out for a little bit of the summer, most of the Summer of Surf you'd expect. Hopefully we'll see her back sooner rather than later, but she did so well to finish runner-up in the last round, but that ankle injury was just too much for her to overcome. But I guess it opens the door for another generation or someone else to pick up the title, and it's going to be very competitive as we see the girls split up at the moment, and that wind playing a little bit of havoc on at the moment. You can see the top of the water, it's just a little bit choppy there, and the girls are starting to spread out.
Well, it's really going to suit those surf swimmers, that rougher water that the surf swimmers are a lot better in. They're a lot more comfortable than the pool swimmers who are used to swimming in their lane, in their pool, where it's all controlled. Out here, there's a little bit less control, there's a little bit less of that clean water, and it's sort of moving all over the place, not allowing these girls to really find their rhythm and stroke.
No lanes, all black lines out here at Newport, that's for sure. There's Gemma Smith doing her best to get into the race. We saw her an incredible performance, pick up a bronze in the open Ironwoman competition, but have a look at the top of the screen. One of the girls has decided to go it alone. We just can't pick up who that is at the moment, but hopefully she's looking for a wave, or she's spoken with her coach. The bank might be a little bit shallower there. Emma Dick, Wes Berg, her coach, one of the best brains in surf life saving, but I don't know if it's going to pay off at the moment, because this end is, a little push there for one or two, and one's picked it up. It looks like maybe the Northcliffe cap, so it's very unfair surf life saving at times. And Courtney Hancock will stand up in front. A little bit of experience comes to the fore there, Jack.
She's coming off a Coolangatta Gold win, Josh, so we know she's in good form. We know she's super fit, and she's obviously put a lot of work into her swimming over the winter to put herself in a position like this.
And that little wave has turned into a huge gap there ahead of the rest of the field. And look who it is in second place, Rebecca Creedy, our round one winner. Emma Dick's there, Harriet Brown as well, Naomi Scott. Liv Hall comes around as well, so a massive field as they make their way in. And whoa, Courtney Hancock just gets smashed in the lap by that Newport shore break there, and that's enough to slow her down. Harriet Brown doing her best to chase, and we'll see her lean back and go up and over. And they're not big waves, they're not powerful waves, Jack, but they're enough to slow your momentum.
Well, it certainly was, and we saw, as you said, Courtney Hancock cop one in the lap, and that turned a 30-metre gap that she had into probably 10, Josh. So it's almost halved, or more than halved, that gap, and now the race is on.
10, it's turned into none. They are on her wash at the moment. So Courtney Hancock leads from Rebecca Creedy there. The rest of the field chasing hard. Harriet Brown on the yellow ski. Tara Coleman changed to the Currumbin Club this season to train under Michael King. Hopefully it'll do good things for her career, and she's sitting in that pack there chasing hard. And have a look, Rebecca Creedy's ski leg got her the win last week. It's put her into first place at this point. Is she the most improved craft competitor in surf life saving? And that's saying something too, seeing she's the Australian champion.
She very well may be. And Josh, everyone has weaknesses. Everyone needs to go away and work out what they need to work on. Yes, it's great to work on your strengths, but if you can improve those weaknesses even 1 or 2%, it's going to make a huge difference in your racing.
That is 100% correct. And Rebecca Creedy on the front as Tara Coleman does her best to hang on. The girls, they're working very hard at this point. It looks like the group's splitting a little bit. Our top three there are kind of going away. Maybe Danielle McKenzie trying to hold on there in fourth place. And then there's another group of 4 behind her, and then a big gap back to the rest of the field there. And you're going to have to be praying for something if you're in that second group, because you're almost out of it. I know there's a long way to go here, but conditions are so flat. It looks like it's going to be pretty even on the way home. And the girls just get caught up with our big Aussie bodies turning can there. And one of the girls has gone backwards at a rate of knots. Courtney Hancock's gone from first to about 7th place, and that's an inexperienced mistake from a very experienced competitor.
Well, she's one of the most experienced girls out in the field, Josh, but Rebecca Creedy pushed and got her nose in front to make sure that she had the best line into that can, and Courtney Hancock on the inside copped that Aussie bodies can right in the face.
You know what they say, if you can't make space, you take space, and Courtney Hancock had to force the issue there, and that's dropped her back maybe 6 ski lengths at the moment. Harriet Brown, head down, eyes on the prize, going hard, and she goes to the lead, and the gap's opened up at this point. So Harriet Brown led around with Jordan Mercer in round 1. She'll lead around with Rebecca Creedy in round 2. Hasn't got the win in the first one. Is this Harriet's day?
Well, Creedy did a lot of work on the way out in the ski, and now she's allowing Harriet Brown to take that speed up and sit on her sidewash, and it looks like Creedy now has separated, and he's going to look for a little bump on the way home to see if she can try and now take that gap and increase it on Harriet Brown.
Harriet Brown lifts the pace. We saw Emma Dick in the opening leg go to the top of the screen, that northern end, and it didn't pay off, and Rebecca Creedy's heading a little bit of the same way here, but we'll see if it was just sheer luck last time or whether these girls know something we don't as they make their way back in there. Naomi Scott, she's been the under-the-radar competitor so far, led early and has an absolutely incredibly improved ski leg as well. And there's Courtney Hancock, has gone from first to about 8th place with a lot of work to do as Tara Coleman pushes hard on the way home. One leg to go here, and there looks like there's a couple of little runners as the girls are spread out all over the ocean. Harriet Brown closest to us. Naomi Scott, she'll pick one up as well and go a little bit sideways. Rebecca Creedy, off too early, and that's a small mistake. And a little mistake there from Creedy and Scott because they've gone too far north. They haven't come in on the flag, and Harriet Brown's got the jump on them, and she's a great board paddler. You don't want to give her a 2-metre lead, but it's just course management, isn't it?
Yeah, that course management plays a huge role, particularly in these short, flat races where the waves don't really come into it as much. Josh, I want to refer to Naomi Scott's ski leg. I know you spoke about it briefly, but how good is this young girl? We know she can swim. She's just paddled her ski past through much faster than girls who have got 3, 4, 5, 10 years more experience on the ski than she has. And her board leg, she's no slouch. Have a look at her leading the current World Ironwoman champion out in this final leg of the round 2 of the Summer of Surf final here at Newport.
Naomi Scott on the far left-hand side, blue cap, blue board, head-to-head with the World Ironwoman champion. Harriet Brown, white cap, yellow board. In behind her, Taylor Piscarik's worked her way through, so there's something in the water down at Manly. She's done a great job at the moment. Danielle McKenzie's in there. It looks like Tara Coleman on that green and red South Sydney coloured board. Jade Mickle from City of Perth. It's great to have the West Australians come over, and all of a sudden the race has just come back together. There's a huge line of 21 athletes down there, and it's Naomi Scott, the junior, who's leading around. Courtney Hancock must be kicking herself after that mistake on the ski.
Yeah, well, it's cost her, Josh. She's now racing for 5, 6, 7, and all these races, all these points count towards the final round.
She's going to have to qualify into that overall final in North Cronulla later in the year. But Naomi Scott, Harriet Brown, 1 and 2. Looks like Maddie Spencer from the home club there. She's worked her way into third place very well. So under the radar, another young gun. Haven't seen much of her, but she's really making her presence felt here in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman final.
Well, she's racing on her home beach, Josh. She wants to do it for her local club. She wants to do it for the local community and crowd. And she will be racing out of her skin here to make sure she puts herself as close to that podium as possible.
Oh, have a look at them jam up around the cans there as Amy Nerthen got a lot of work to do. One of the most experienced women in surf life saving. She has got her way up into about 6th place at the moment on the stomach. A couple of the girls up on the knees, including Harriet Brown, but Naomi Scott isn't bothering. She's gone to the front and absolutely flying. Lana Rogers there has just jumped on her tail, the pink and green and white board Noosa cap. She finished with a 3rd in round 1. If she gets another podium here, she'd be halfway to qualifying herself into the final, and I guarantee you, with no disrespect at the start of the year, nobody would have expected her, but she's done the work, she's racing well, and she's jumping out of her skin here in these finals as Harriet Brown and Naomi Scott go head to head.
Well, Lana Rogers has a fantastic training partner in Jordan Mercer. She's the current Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman champion. There's no better person to train with, to push yourself along, to test yourself against, to find out whether or not you are made of the right stuff.
Well, Harriet Brown, Naomi Scott, Lana Rogers, they're all made of the right stuff, but they're trying to get a win. Amy Nerthen is coming back into this one at an absolute rate of knots. There's a little wave out the back. This is going to shake things up. Are we going to get a jag here? Have a look out the back. There's 1 down it. There's 2 down it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down it at the moment. Oh, one's gone off the back. A huge mistake from Nerthen, I think. Harriet Brown is in prime position. She is up the top there. The girls are up and away. Scott's the first up, running up to the flag, but Brown will get round first. That's course management there. Can it be enough for the win? It's going to be a foot race down the chute. Harriet Brown, she's the World Ironwoman champion. She'll win round 2 of the Summer of Surf here at Newport, and what a win. She's very happy with that. We'll leave the rest of the results to the judges there as 7 girls came across the line, but no doubting our winner, Harriet Brown. She did all the hard work. She thought for a second there it had been stolen away from her. Tala Piskarik was in the mix as well as the rest of the girls raced for points there. Emma Dick, Jade Mickle, Devon Halligan, Danielle McKenzie and Courtney Hancock well down the list. Harriet Brown, Maddie Spencer on her home beach gets silver. Naomi Scott forced to settle with bronze. Lana Rogers, her 2nd top 4 performance in as many weeks. We head further down the page. Lizzie Wellborth gets a top 10 in her first race. Kira Kinsey and Brielle Cooper round us out.
That was really hard work. Here at Newport, the sand is really soft and gritty, and so everything's a bit of a hard slog. Yeah, she had a really good swim leg, and all of us girls were just trying to catch her on the ski. I really went for it in the ski and thought if I have any energy left, that's what I'll just hang on through on the board. I did. I really went for it on the board to try and get a wave ahead, and I pulled out in front, so I was so happy with that. And then I saw all those other girls on the wave, and usually I'm not the best sprint finisher. So I gave it everything I had, and I was actually waiting for the girls to come past me at the end, but because it's such a hard race, I think everyone was so tired. Yeah, it's so good to be back racing in Australia again. Summer surf races have been awesome, and I actually can't wait. The Aussie Bodies Taplin Relays up next, and we've got a great team from Northcliffe, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Oh, loves a team event. Harriet Brown, top of the point score. The girls in blue have already qualified for our end of season final. The girls in white still trying to earn one of the 5 spots. So good times for Lana Rogers there. A little bit further down the page, Jade Mickle still in on the cutoff. So they're going to have to race hard for Tian Raymond.